Hello and welcome to Perry Pencil. To all newcomers, subscribe now and be alerted whenever I upload a new video.
Hello, welcome to another Perry Pencil video. Today's video is a spawn redo. The reason for this is because of a subscriber by the name of SmallBlocker79. Here's his comment from the comment section, as seen here. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. Also, I forgot to remove the green screen for the sub button.
Oh, come on,
Having
man.
said that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright. What you want to do is you want to put a line at the top of the page. Then divide the page in half and take the line all the way down to the bottom of the page off the bottom of the page. Then go ahead and start putting your oval in for the head. Immediately after that, put an oval shape underneath his head. Then you want to measure the head with your index finger and thumb. Move it down just under his chin. Mark it. Then move it down again. Mark it one more time. And then go ahead and put another oval in and put it at the bottom of the other mark. And this will decide where the chest line is going to be and then where the waist is going to be. Right here up under his, you're going to put this line in for the shoulder. Then take the same width of the head, move it to the side, and with your thumb, mark it. This is where his shoulder is going to be, and then move it to the right and do the same thing. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and put a circle in between the oval shape and do the same thing for the right. That way that's where the shoulder is going to be. Then put in the center of the circle, move a line down to where his waist is. Do the same thing for his right. Put circles for his elbow. Then put a line across the measure to make sure that they're even. Then put his waist in using two lines. Then take the rest of the arm off the page. Now you've got the whole structure of the body done. We can go ahead and move up to his head. And I'll zoom in. Start with the line across where his eyes are going to be. Then we want to start with the right side of his head. Go in and then out. And then come straight down. Come around to the bottom of the oval. Close it off where his chin is. Come to the top of his head, round off. Come to the opposite side. Come in and then out. Line down and then close the chin off. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the mechanical pencil and sketch in the white part of Spawn's mask. So you want to come up with an arc, come down the middle and kind of do like a C shape. Then bring it in and up. Come down to the center line and go out. And then end one more time. Now do the same thing for his left side. Go in, out, And one more time. And then come down the bottom. Now do a reverse C on the left side. Use the center line to judge and make it the opposite C. Come up and go off the side of his head. Now for his eyes, you want to put a slant in. Come almost to the center, then go down. And put a temple line in. What I'll do is draw a line, a contour line on both sides of the head, so you won't put the eyes on the edge of the head. Put a line here. Go up on the other side on his left side. Follow the temple line. Come down and then go over to the center. Do the same thing for his right side. Come up and around and come down to the point, almost to the center line, not quite. Come back up off the edge. Do the same thing for his right. Come around. Come down to the center line. And close it off. Put a line that goes from off the side of his cheek and almost into the center. And that's the overall look of his face. Now with his neck's kind of thick, so you want to come from the bottom of the chin and go down to his shoulder line. Do the same thing for his left side. Come all the way down and put a curve at the end. Come under his neck and put his neck muscle in with a simple curve that goes up on either side. Come down on the outside. Now, we're going to start off. We're going to switch pencils and then start off with a little detail here. With his chest, you want to come down on the center line. Bring it around. Come up underneath the circle for his arm. Where the muscle is, bring that around down to the line where his chest is. Come over and then close it. Do the same thing with his left. Come up underneath the circle. But we're not going to come all the way to the center line. We want to stop right there. Come over. And then connect it. Now with the upper chest, add the muscles in. Then we'll put two ovals here. This is where the skulls are going to be later, so that we don't forget where the skulls go for his cloak. Now, we're going to start to put the top of the cloak in that goes up next to his head. And then put an arc right at the top. Put a line that's going to go just above his eye. And do the same thing for his left side. Come around and go up and then around again. It's almost like a slight curve on the upper side and then the lower side. Repeat the same shape for his left side and come up and then repeat that same shape. Off the edge, come down and taper it. Come out and then go in, close it at the bottom. Do the same thing with the left side, come in and come up and go over and close it at the top with an arc. Now he has another piece that comes out of the top, and let it align with the top of his head. That way you don't go off the edge of the page. Put an arc there, almost like the top of a flag, and then put an arc there. Do the same thing for his right side. And remember to sketch lightly. Close off the top and come down. And feel free to pause at any time if I'm moving too quickly. Now there's a line that comes from his eyes for the back of the cloak. Bring that line over and then do the same thing for his left side. And start to put the skull in. So go ahead and go down to the bottom, put a square shape there, then put an arc down and come over and meet the other side and at the bottom, and do the same thing on the opposite side. For now, we'll put the shapes in. Go over to the left side and repeat the same process. Arc it around, put a curve and a line down, then bring the bottom in and come back up on the other side. So we'll go ahead and start putting his cloak in. Let's have a line go straight down off the bottom of the page. Repeat the same thing for the left side and go right off the page. And make sure they're even. Now, we want to concentrate on his torso and his abs. So come to the outside of the oval. Come in with an arc. Repeat the same thing on the left side. Come in a little bit past the left side and come down to the waist. Repeat the same thing on the left side. Then what you want to do is come right up underneath this chest and put in what I call an M shape in the center. Go to the other side and come up on the left side. Go down a little bit halfway point and then come over and repeat the same process. It's more like a W shape here. Then just have two lines come down on the right and then on the left. Now for the centerpiece, just put a circle in. That's going to indicate the skull that's going to be on his belt. Have the bottom part of it go off the page. Now, you look at the chest and measure up the center line. And have the two parts of the skull go on either side. And round off the top, close it. Now we're going to deal with the biceps. Have that come into the line that's drawn for the arm. And then go up under the chest with another line. Repeat the same process on the other side. And here we can go ahead on and measure that. If you're not sure, you can take your pencil and go across this side. Take your finger and hold that point. Mark it. And go ahead and erase a little bit. Go down to that point. Just to make sure it matches the right side, I'm going to erase that again. And go ahead and put a line on the outside here. And repeat the same thing on his left side. Now he has these gloves on. Put an arc here. And then put an arc on the other side. Put the arc on his left side as well. And these are for his forearms. And come down off the bottom of the page. Repeat that same shape. Close it off. Do the same thing for his right side. Now there is a difference on his right side. It has an outer piece that comes in over and come down off the page. Then you can come to the inner side of it and then repeat the same thing that's on the left side. Close it, measure it, and then come off the page. Now what we're going to do is work on he has a chain link on his belt. So we're going to put an oval shape in here. Then right over top of that, put a rectangular shape right out to the edge of his oblique or his side muscle there. And then put another link in between that. Is another simple oval shape. and then go in between that and close it off. And then put another oval shape that's vertical and repeat the same thing for his left side. Go ahead and put an oval shape in. Put a rectangular shape right there to the edge of his waist. Close it on the inside, draw the other link using the oval again and putting that last link on his waist. And make sure it's short enough and it matches the same size of the rectangular shapes. And then have his waist go off the page on both sides, right and left. Now we're going to go ahead and do the top part of his cloak. So just underneath the part that goes around his neck, come up and then down, and then have it go down that way. In the center, you want to have that line come in and go out to the other part of the page, so it's the opposite of the other shape. It has like a swaying motion. Do the same thing for his left side. There's flexion folds at the top and then have it swing out to the outside of the page. And there's another flexion fold right here on the edge. It has a C shape, so you want to go ahead and draw an arc that comes around and comes in just underneath the top part of his cloak. Repeat the same thing for the left side so that way it's even, or you don't forget the other side and do it last. Now come back in and have that arc go in and around. Repeat the same shape and go dip in again. Bring that arc around. And then come to the outside. Have it go out, down, and then come down like that and stop. Have this flexion fold or wrinkle meet to that side and then close it on that side. Do the same thing to the upper one. Have that line come out and go down and then stop. And remember, lightly sketch this in so that if you have to go back and correct it, you can go ahead and use your eraser and then the line will go away. Come to the other side and repeat the same process as the right side by bringing that in and following the line around the other side. Go up, come back down, and you can refer to the right. That makes it easier when you refer to the right and look at it and kind of mirror match it from right to left. That's what will help it give more of an even look. Now I use my finger for a flexion fold. Make sure it matches the other side as much as it can. The pencil's a little short, but sometimes you can eyeball it and then go straight down. Have the line come out, close it. And then come down and then stop. Now we're going to put a band on his arm. He has a shape that covers his bicep. So you want to put a line there and then right at the almost near the bottom of his bicep. Then close it off at the side here. And go a little darker with your pencil as well, so that way it overlaps the other shapes and lines there. And then put a circle in the center. And move down to his forearm. You want to repeat the same thing. He has spikes here, so you want to draw that in lightly. And come to a point and then come down to the bottom and then close it off. There's another circle indicating a spike. Repeat the same thing for his right side. Put an oval shape. And then have a line that goes up. And then it comes down and close it. Now, he has a shape on his chest. So what we want to do is start lightly putting a line in just under the skull. come to the center, come back, that creates a point, and then you want to create the right side of a V shape that goes down to the skull that's on his belt. Come in and do the other line, and it's a parallel line, so it comes down and create that shape there, and then go off to the edge of his chest. Now what you want to do is go underneath that chest where my finger is, because you don't want it to be flat and it just make his chest look flat. So you want to have the line move over a little bit to show the difference. And repeat the same thing for his left side. Come in with a line, go down to the center, and you can use the center line. I'll lightly put a line in for you. Come down, and that way you can be sure where your lines are. Repeat the same process. Have that other line come on the outside, go down to where the skull is, and then come up underneath that arm and make sure lines are off centered so that it doesn't look flat. Now we'll switch pencils here and get a little detail and start putting the skulls in. And you want to come in on a slant and kind of make a mean face and have a line that comes down and over that matches his face, and do the other side. Put a simple N shape underneath his eyes for a nose, and then 3 lines where the bottom are for the teeth. And then an extra line underneath to show depth. Now I'm gonna lighten this up so that it has less lines in it, and go ahead and repeat the same thing that you did on the left side by putting a line here, and it's a triangular shape, so come to the center and then a line up in the middle for the frown. Repeat the same thing on the other side. For his nose, it's gonna be a simple N shape. That's going to come up, and 3 lines on this one as well. And follow the contour underneath that skull as well. Now for the final skull in the center, you want to repeat the same process and do the rectangular shape. Close the bottom of it. Do the same thing for the other side of the eye. Put the nose in, and of course let the teeth go off the page. Put 3 lines in. Now if you gotten to this point, I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up, make it look nice, and you can pause it at the end and take a look at it when it's done.
Hey, do me a favor. Give this video a like and subscribe if you want to live.